Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the founder of the Dallas Bankers Club. He's going to talk about why he started it and where it's going next. His story just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
I can't think of a more competitive business in North Texas than the banking business. There's a bank on every corner, and of course they fight it out during the day, but they have a lot more in common than they do opposing each other, and that's why the Dallas Bankers Club exists. I'm talking to the founder right now, Dean Rosencrans. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate being here. Good seeing you.
I think this is absolutely brilliant, and I want you to kind of take us back in time, because you came here from Wisconsin in what year?
Well, I've been here, though, since 2004, but that bank that I was at before, they tried moving into the Texas market in 2019.
And did that give birth to the Dallas Bankers Club?
Absolutely gave birth. The story goes, really, a friend of ours, Bill Wallace, with Success North Dallas, he had invited me to one of his events, and you were there. Mm-hmm. And I had just been selected to be the market president for Associated Bank at that time. And no brand, nobody knew who we were. And it was, how do I eat this elephant? Right. And so in a way, I have a marketing mind. And so when I saw you at this particular event and you were talking about real news PR, it just clicked. You and I had a meeting. We came to the studio. And in a way, that was the birth of the Dallas Bankers Club, because I really wanted something that could get out into the market fairly quickly with my message. And so the podcast made sense. And then the happy hour kind of came after, with starting with a smaller group of bankers, maybe 50, 60 bankers that I knew. And after that first event, it was a big success. And I just thought that maybe it was worth a little bit more effort to see what we could do with it. I put a name to it, called it the Dallas Bankers Club. I kind of wordsmithed on Google to figure out a name. The Dallas Buyers Club kept coming up, and so I just replaced buyers and put bankers in. And fast forward now 5 years, we are 600 invitations strong. We average about 150 bankers at any one particular event. Senior bankers here in Dallas.
Sure.
So you have to be a senior VP or higher in commercial banking. And I never thought this would be where it is today. We are so competitive during the day, but we have all worked together. At some point in time, when you walk into a happy hour, you are met with friendly faces that you recognize. So we've been to events where you don't know anybody and you're just a little frightened of the whole situation. In this case, you're 1 degree separated, and more often than not, you know me. And I will make sure that you are introduced to all the bankers that are there. And so with that came another idea of expansion. Where there are a group of bankers, maybe there should be a bankers club. And so the idea has kind of spawned into a growth strategy where now we have the Houston Bankers Club. And not as big as Dallas, but still it is a decent-sized group of about 100 bankers. And we have a chapter sponsor down there, the Ortega Law Firm. And John Ortega is the main principal partner there. And he's done a fantastic job with the Houston group. And then what really has been a glaring opportunity has been a younger banker, and what can we do for the younger bankers that are coming up in our industry.
Sure.
And there's, not a lot of direction. Yes, banks do provide a career, some career advice possibly, but, training programs and things like that are expensive, and not a lot of banks are doing training programs. I'm not saying that we will be doing training programs. We're a happy hour organization, but as far as mentorship and direction as to what path to maybe take, do I go commercial banking? Do I go real estate? Do I go credit? Do I go portfolio management? There's so many avenues within banking that these younger bankers really don't know. And so I really thought to myself, why don't we have an organization for them? Similar to the Dallas Bankers Club, but for them. And I received an email for another organization that will go unnamed, but in a play on words, again, like the Dallas Bankers Club and the Dallas Buyers Club, I just decided to call it Young Bankers Organization, or YBO.
So clever. That's so clever. We're going to show some video from your podcast. I wanted to talk about the podcast. In fact, this is a good friend of yours, and I thought this was a wonderful show. Tell us why you launched the podcast.
Well, so this was definitely a way to get direct into the market with just kind of illustrating more about who Associated Bank was, and certainly wanted to talk with other bankers. And as you can see, Brendan McGuire with PNC has done a tremendous job with growth in this market. And so I really wanted to understand what his passions were, what his ideas for the community were. We didn't talk bank speak.
Right.
We talked more about, family and what, as bankers, we should be doing in our community.
Yes.
Right. And in a way, that's what the Dallas Bankers Club is about. Is yes, we are having a happy hour, and the show is more about illustrating the good that we can do as a combined group of professionals in this market. And the happy hour is bringing it all together and venerating those that have been in the business, are in the business, are thinking about retirement, et cetera. But at that time, we can maybe raise a little bit of money and give back to our communities. There's a bigger picture here.
Sure. No, and I love it because, sometimes you're interviewing direct competitors. And
that's right.
In one sense, you might have a boss saying, "Teen, why would you spend half an hour doing a free commercial for our enemy?"
Right.
But I think the greater good
Frenemy.
is frenemy.
Yeah.
The greater good is that you're bringing the whole community together. And you mentioned the networking aspect. People are always looking to hire the next generation, the best, the brightest. So attending your events is great for networking, great for just problem solving. You had told me that what happens often in the banking industry is maybe this bank is too small to do this loan so that they can partner with another bank.
That's exactly right. I mean, there's profiles that most banks have for the perfect client, right? And there's certain flexibility that banks can flex to maybe do a deal or not do a deal. But, when you come to a Bankers Club event, my hope and what has been the case is that they are talking about what their profiles are. And they'll say, "Listen, Dean, I have a deal. I can't do this deal because it has this, and this associated with it, and it's just not something we can do. Do you think you can do it at your bank, or do you know of other banks that have the capability of doing this deal?" What I have envisioned with the Bankers Club, and for those that are members, you don't have to look at your client or your prospect and say, "I can't help you, goodbye."
Right.
What you can say is, I can't do anything for you right now. However, I am part of an organization of bankers that there should or maybe be an opportunity for you to have a bank work with you from that particular group.
Nice.
So I've always hated saying no. I want to be a solver. I want to provide a value to these folks. They've given me their time,
Yes.
and often their financials, and have spent, more time than anything. And I just want to be able to help them out. And so the Bankers Club has really done that.
Yeah.
And so hopefully the members feel that as well.
As I was doing homework for the show, I just put your name into Google, and one of the things that pops up is a wonderful article. We're going to put this up on the screen and scroll down it. It's City Box Daily, and it just struck me as you're a sharp dresser.
Well, thank you. Well, this was put together by a good friend of mine, Marianne Aiken, with City Box. And she is a marketer, PR firm, advertising. She's doing a lot of organization work. And so she came to Texas, and she and I were put together by a friend of ours, and one thing led to another. But the clothing side of things, part of the Bankers Club, at the very first Bankers Club, this is pre-COVID, all the bankers were dressed up. I mean, suits, ties, just looked like $1 million. And I just thought to myself, I wonder how I can maybe, provide some of that to them.
Sure.
And I had bought a few suits from a tailor in Bangkok, and I reached out to that particular tailor, and I said, I got a business idea. What do you think about me, doing some tailoring here in Texas? And I said, it's going to be called the Banker's Tailor. And he goes, okay, it's a brilliant idea. Let's see what we can do. So I'm probably my biggest customer.
But every time I see him, he has a different outfit, and it's always a showstopper. You also have a golf challenge coming up?
Yeah. Oh, so this is really something that I'm real excited about, Jeff, that I'm glad that I'm here today. And first of all, let me just congratulate you on a long, upstanding career.
Thank you.
We had dinner the other day, and just 25 years in the news business and 15 years doing real news. Just congratulations. But what I want to do, or what I have put my heart and soul into, is what I can do in addition to having a party with bankers, is how can we help the community? And so a golf challenge, I'm calling it the Dallas Bankers Club Bank versus Bank Golf Challenge, where banks can get together and get basically bragging rights for a year, whoever the best score is. Bankers love to golf. But the benefit is that we want to raise money for a specific project charity. Now, I've been batting around a couple ideas with Wounded Warrior, but not necessarily for the organization, directly for Wounded Warrior, but more for that Wounded Warrior themselves. Maybe they need a new wheelchair, maybe they need some work on their house to get it ADA compliant. So there's that opportunity. Another contact of mine suggested Children's Medical. I believe they call it Limbs for Life, whereby children that have certain amputee legs, arms, etc., need new prosthetics.
Sure.
And so that really is something that I can get behind. But we're looking at September 23rd or September 30th. Mm-hmm. I have a great board that I've put together, some of the young bankers, some of the senior bankers, and some from outside to work with me to make sure that this happens. And it's just another way for us to get together, have a great time, play some golf, eat some dinner, get some awards, and raise money for a great cause.
Sure. We're going to put up the website here in a second, but I want you to look into the camera on the left and talk to the banker out there who probably should be attending and
Sure.
and isn't.
Well, so come to the Dallas Bankers Club. If you're a senior banker and you're in Dallas or Houston, check out our website. Reach out to me at tdallasbc gmail.com, or give me a call. That information will be here on the bottom of the screen. But if you are looking for an opportunity to network with other bankers that have been in the business for a while, or you're a young banker and looking for an opportunity to network with some younger bankers that are in the market and some older bankers, a little bit of mix, but at the same time, do some good work in our community, we got a home for you, so please come to the Dallas Bankers Club or our Young Bankers Organization. We look forward to seeing you.
Outstanding. You've been a great guest. We're going to end with the website, which is DeanRosencrans.com. The great Dean Rosencrans. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, sir.
All right. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.